Joining me now is Corey Bernard, a kindergarten teacher at Barbara A. Harvey Elementary in Parrish, Florida. He is openly gay and has spoken about how this new law is going to impact his classroom. Corey, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. Just give me first your reaction.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
To the Florida governor signing this into law.
Yeah, it's twofold. It really hits hard in my heart professionally and personally, both. Professionally, it truly makes me feel like I am not trusted as a professional. I know my kindergarten standards through and through, and nowhere in our curriculum does it have anything about teaching sexual orientation or sexual identity. So for them to say that's happening, it's kind of crazy.
Hi, I'm Nadine, a sex educator.
And I'm Eva, a sex researcher.
I use the pronouns she and her because I'm a woman, and when I was your age, I used to be a girl.
Gender is how you feel on the inside about whether you're a boy or a girl, a man or a woman. If you're non-binary, feel like neither or both. People can also be fluid, feel more like female, more like male, based on a different day or time. It's really individual.
Absolutely.
Everyone born with a vulva is a girl. True or false?
Or identifies as a girl. Well, not everybody is sure, and that makes sense. But our genitals actually don't determine our gender. So some people born with vulvas can be boys.
Nowhere in our curriculum does it have anything about teaching sexual orientation or sexual identity.
Gender creative parenting is a better option for parenting than assigning kids genders at birth.
Hey, Davey.
Yes.
If a person doesn't feel like they're a boy or a girl, what do we call them?
They.
What are your preferred pronouns? They, them.
These are not my preferred pronouns. These are my pronouns.
Mappa, Nini, Nopa, Nori, Opa, Pere, Pom-Pom, Zaza, Zizi.
Trixic, toric, feminomoric, viramoric. Allosexual.
They, them, theirs.
They're customizable. Anything can be a pronoun, really.
Neurodivergent, noun self pronouns. Animal, noun self pronouns.
Neopronouns.
So gender dysphoria is
gender euphoria.
I describe myself as agender.
What is androsexual? Gender queer person.
Homosexuality, bi doesn't really fit them, lesbian doesn't really fit them, pan, asexual, etc.
Asexual, demisexual, and cupiosexual.
Autosexual.
Ace flux.
Asexuality and allosexuals.
Neuroqueer. Gray sexuality.
I'm demisexual.
Jaxera is a gender identity that's similar to being a girl.
Let's talk about cupiosexuals and cupio-romantics.
Let's talk about libidoist and non-libidoist asexual.
Pangender.
Non-asexual aromantic and allosexual aromantic.
Micro labels.
People with penises or people with vaginas, rather than saying male and female or men and women.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him.
Brian Laverne, he, him.
Hi, I am Andy P. From Los Angeles, they, them pronouns.
Thank you, Chair. Nick, he, him, his from Twin Cities.
James Jackson, Sacramento DSA, he, him.
Hi, my name is Onlin Wang. I use he, him.
This is Chris, he, him from Cleveland.
This is Daniel Ray from Piedmont, he, him pronouns.
My name is Trey. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns.
Here are some examples of my gender fluidity being a little bitch. Number 1, feeling like a guy and visiting my relatives.
I don't know if you know this, but I am not out to my family.
Therefore, when I'm feeling like a guy but I have to present super feminine in front of my relatives, it makes me feel icky inside.
Also, gender dysphoria is a bit.
Number 2, when suddenly my gender decides to change right before bed. I'll just be vibing, and then it'll be like, binder time. No, Michael, it's not binder time, it's bedtime. Binder time. Number 3, in the frickin' middle of the day. I'll be walking all happily along, and then suddenly, boom, gender change. No, now is not the time, Michael. I have a day to run. I don't need this dysphoria right now. Most of the time, I won't have the resources or capabilities to reduce the gender dysphoria because I didn't bring along with me a hat or a binder or makeup if it's the other way around. So, it's a bitch. It's a real bitch.
Hi everybody, it's your friendly female alter art. And in today's video, we will be switching. Me and Alex will be switching out who is in front in this video. Now, just as a disclaimer, every system is going to switch differently, and every switch in every system is going to look differently. Just because me and Alex can switch very fast does not mean every alter in our system can switch this fast. Please give us a like because I know we're going to get called fake for this. Alright, here goes. Hey everyone, it's Alex from the A System. The reason me and Art can switch so quickly is because we've been in the system the longest. We've both been in the system since early childhood. We have switched tens of thousands of times. Not all the switches in our system are that smooth. For example, the switch between me and Asher is a lot longer than that. Thank you.
People are really out here acting like they can't comprehend they, them pronouns. They're like, oh, but it's plural. Okay, let me put it into language that you can understand. If you're holding 2 fish in your profile picture, it's 2 fish. But you could also only be holding 1 fish in your profile picture, and it's 1 fish. 2 fish, 1 fish. Same word, plural and singular. You're welcome.
As a fat person, I often dread medical appointments because of blatant medical fat phobia. The last OB appointment I went to, the provider blamed everything on my weight and told me that I needed to go on a medication that made me feel really terrible. This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are.
Tips on how you can be a better intersex ally. When it comes to inclusive language, oftentimes people tend to use phrases like people with penises or people with vaginas rather than saying male and female or men and women. While this can absolutely be inclusive for trans people, unfortunately it's not always the most inclusive language for intersex people. My advice is to use language that focuses on function and not just form. That means focusing on the actual function that you're talking about, such as people who can get pregnant, people who can get other people pregnant, people who are at risk of testicular cancer, and so on and so forth. This is much more inclusive because there are intersex people who are born with a vagina but don't have a uterus or ovaries or an ability to menstruate. This is because some people that are born with a penis don't have testes. So it's much more inclusive to say what you actually mean than it is to use language that works around that.
Instead of using the typical mom and dad parent titles, there's actually gender neutral and non-binary parent titles that exist. It can be hard for parents within the LGBTQIA+ community to find a word that they feel comfortable being addressed as by their children. So here are some examples. Dama, Mada, Maddie, Madi, Mappa, Nini, Nopa, Nori, Opa, Pere, Pom Pom, Zaza, and Zizi. You can find more examples on the website listed above. I would also like to say I cannot believe that 12,000 of you are following me. Thank you so much. I love you.
Binary folks get pronouns that point to who they are, man or woman. But if the only pronoun that non-binary people had was they, them, then that pronoun points to what we're not. We're not binary and we're not cis. And since pronouns indicate gender in the English language, if they was the only option that we had, then it could confuse people into thinking that non-binary is a third gender, as opposed to a multitude of gender experiences. And what I love about neopronouns is that they point to who we are. Some of them have meanings that are connected to genderqueer history, and others have meanings that reflect the individual's experience with gender. As our understanding of gender broadens, our language is broadening to accommodate that, because language is a reflection of the way we think.
Alrighty, everybody, repeat after me. Asexual, pansexual, bisexual, trans people, and non-binary people are 100% valid and definitely part of the LGBTQ community. And if you don't like that stuff,